Hello, this is Jeff from Stu41 Gaming, and we're back with the next Smite video. We're talking about Medusa here, so let's get it going. So Medusa is a hunter, and obviously Transcendence is what we're starting with. Obviously Transcendence is still, even today, one of the most OP items for hunters in Smite, so we're definitely leading with that, since you can build up them stacks though. Then after that we got Warrior Tabi to get you your movement speed and physical power. Next we got Assy for lifesteal, attack speed, some penetration, and a decent passive. When you get put to the test you get a ton of lifesteal for 5 seconds. Next we got the Executioner, so physical power, attack speed, and that nice passive. Basic attacks against an enemy reduce your target's physical protections by 12% for 3 seconds. Then next we got Poison Star. Now, this is where I think you could have some options around here with this build. I have Poison Star because it really makes chasing a little bit easier. You get some physical power, some attack speed, and that passive that poisons enemies, so it slows them and reduces their damage. But I think you do have options here where you could bump up Wind Demon and just drop Poison Star. And maybe go Deathbringer last, or you could go like Quinsice here if you really wanted to, or maybe mess around with Bloodforge a little bit. But that would probably drop Executioner for that. But that's just me. But you do have options here, I think, with this build. And last I have Wind Demon because it's amazing. It's got one of the best passives in the game. Gives you a bunch of critical strike chance still. You know, I think they may have nerfed it a little bit. I think it may have dropped it from 25 to 20. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I haven't looked at it in a little while. But in our relics, we got beads and Aegis, so standard McDefault stuff for Medusa there. And then for the abilities, passive is Sidewinder, which you don't suffer any movement penalty when moving left and right, and only suffer half the movement penalty when moving backwards. So this can really help with Medusa in her dueling. She can really just basically dodge probably better than any other god in the game. But her first ability is Viper Shot, where she shoots out 3 vipers very quickly, and it poisons enemies. I thought it did a little extra damage, but apparently not. But they poison, and it also your attack speed is really high when this thing is active. And this thing is really nice too because it lasts until you make 3 basic attacks, so you can like pop it when you're in your fountain and just run around with them. You don't have to activate them. You just attack. But her next is Acid Spray, where she shoots out some acid, and it hits. If it hits an enemy, it'll shoot out behind that enemy in a cone. So it'll hit whatever's behind them as well, and it apparently explodes on statuses she's made, so it must really blow up Viper Shot and then Lacerate, which she just goes forward and latches onto an enemy and does damage, and it also reduces their healing, so it must explode on that as well. But this is also really nice for being an escape ability. I'll tell you that right now. And then her most infamous or famous ability is her ult, where she freezes a whole bunch of enemies in place unless they are able to turn around, and then they only take 75% of the damage and are slowed. But this thing hits so hard, as you can see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 is probably, I would say, the best ult for any ADC or hunter in Smite. It is just so awesome to pull off, and it is such a hard counter for a lot of enemies' ults like Ares or any of the big tank ults. You can just basically stop the entire opposing team dead in their tracks. But for the default god builder, I think is alright. As you may see for Transcendence, you may want to push Acid Spray a little bit, but overall I think this is fine. I don't have really any qualms with it. But let's move on to a little gameplay and delve a little bit deeper into how to play Medusa. So one of the things about Medusa that really makes her very unique among a lot of the ADCs in this game is that she can really play either hunter or assassin. She can lay out a lot of damage, but I've seen games where people just, they'll go off with Medusa, 15 kills, 20 kills. It's insane. Medusa is really unique among a lot of the hunters that are in this game for being able to do that. You know, if you're the only other hunter that I usually see go off for just enormous games like that, where they can just control everything, is really like Zibalanke or I've never really seen Neith do that, but you get the point. Medusa is just, she's in a class among her own, really, when it comes to ADCs and Smite. She has just a lot better abilities than a lot of the other hunters and ADCs. And with Medusa, you can really, with your ult, you can, if you can pull it off, just whenever you engage or someone else in the other team goes for an engage, you can just turn the tide of battle just in an instant. And combine that with Viper Shot, when you engage, you typically are going to go for a Lacerate or Viper Shot, then Lacerate, or Lacerate, then Viper Shot. Typically will be what you want to do. Usually you save Acid Spray for like a poke, or if there's somebody like slightly out of your range and you don't have a Lacerate and you think you can get the kill, then you go for the Acid Spray. Acid Spray also is really good for clearing minions, so that's why if you do want to tweak the God Builder, go for Acid Spray a little bit earlier, because it'll help you get your Transcendence stacks a lot more quickly and easily. She usually doesn't have too much trouble getting those kills anyway, because you can just use Viper Shot if you really want to, and you get the free cast if you throw it up in the fountain. But with Medusa, God, I hate facing her. So when I make this video, it's like, I know what I'm doing to other people, but Medusa is just, she's one of the most dominating gods in Smite. Whenever you're facing a good Medusa, you're going to have a hard time winning, because she's got such good CC with her ult. She can lay out a ton of damage in a very short amount of time. She can get a ton of kills with her good abilities and with her good basic attack power. She's just all around can just really screw your games up. So you can definitely control with Medusa. She's one of the most infuriating gods to face. But she does have a tendency to be pretty squishy though, so you just gotta be a little bit careful with that. But you can maneuver so well with her passive that you can really dodge a lot of abilities. So even then, she even has decent defense just because of her passive. But that is Medusa. She's hard to kill. She's really hard to 1v1. She can really screw your day up in Smite. But thanks for watching, and if you're going to play Medusa, just make sure I'm not online, please.